I've always wanted to tell a story about Leonardo from the human point of view and not just the genius up on the pedestal, but to bring him down to our level and mere mortals level. I think of him as sort of a superhero in a sense, but a superhero of intellect, and then but that has all his flaws that a superhero might have. You know, it's he procrastinated, he was distracted all the time, he had bosses, he had to deal with things we deal with. So I wanted to tell a story that people could relate to about his curiosity and feel that you too could be sort of a Leonardo da Vinci in your own life.
Robert, wait. Okay, I have two tiny questions. The first one is, we know that Leonardo organized his moves in life, like from Milan to France and stuff, because he had to find people to fund him. Did you emphasize on this? Did you feel it was important?
To find somebody to hire him to work with? Yes, for sure. I mean, the film starts that way. You know, he works for the Pope's court first, and then he moves to France to work for the King of France.
How do you think someone with his genius, his personality, would live today?
Oh, if he was alive today, the world could use another Leonardo da Vinci, I think. But we have many geniuses today. I hope people realize that one message we're trying to do in the film is it's how you reach other people. What do you do in your life to connect to other people in a positive way or a negative way? And if you by teaching them and passing on your imagination and your creativity and your curiosity to others to inspire them. And I feel like we have such power in people today who are so smart and geniuses and everything, that they could use that for good things and actually try to change the world in that sense in a way to turn the future into our present.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. I'm looking forward to see it.
Thank you. I can't wait for you to see it.
Thank you.
Talking about Leonardo and what a great movie that would be. And finally, it all came together in the last year and a half, and we got it done. So it's been a long road, but we're thrilled that it's done.
Now, what is your approach on doing this is a stop motion animation, and what's your approach to the composition of music on this one? What do you want? What kind of style you want to do that?
Well, Jim wanted to really make Leonardo da Vinci accessible, like the man, and so we didn't want to use music that felt old. We wanted to use music that alluded to the time he lived, but also felt relatable, and so hopefully we've done that.
So what is the first feature release in theaters?
We have another documentary that's came out called True Love the Film this week, so
it's going to be released this week.
So we're here celebrating our debut for Conli.
What a week for your inaugural launches, right in the middle of a picture.
And it's not even our union. I was like, wait a minute, they're local. It's workers who work at the venue.
So it's
hotel workers. I was like, yes, we've made it. They're striking us.
Maybe it was writers. I mean, striking us. Okay, now it makes more sense. Now, tell us about your personal journey awarding this project. Why did you want to do this?
So I've done several projects with producer Robert Rippberger, who's a colleague of mine in several films, and we just came off doing another project together, and he's like, this is an amazing example of talent. An award, this is about 5 years ago now. So we came on board in the development phase, and we helped raise a good chunk of the financing and helped with casting, and even putting up these curtains earlier today. So it's kind of a group effort. I mean, this film is truly a group effort. Amazing talent individuals who put together. Something like this does not usually happen in the independent film. What you're going to see is stuff that studios take on. It was a very daring project. Jim's vision, beautiful, and I think everybody came on board did it justice.
It's amazing. I mean, the fact that it's been going for so many years, and finally hear that stage for the screening and the release tomorrow is it's fantastic. There's a lot of love, sweat, and tears that have gone into this production, and I'm very, very excited to see it on the big screen.
So, what was your personal path on board on this project for yourself?
Yeah, so one of my good friends and production partners, Viardo, he introduced me to the project, and Robert Rippberger introduced it. Obviously read the script, absolutely loved it, and helped with some financing to put in place for
Before I let you go, what is the best thing that you love
about this film itself? To be honest, I think it's the fact that we've made such a huge film, a huge looking film on a very conservative theatre, especially in this space. You know, it's been a treat to be part of something that just looks so clean and fresh, and I have a little boy, so something that I can be proud of to show my son.
I know this is amazing because it's not just regular animation, it's stop motion animation. It's something that you personally do yourself.
I know, it's maybe the one thing that I have not done, because I've done almost everything else. So maybe Jim will show me how. I'll be able to do that too.
Maybe you will get inspired after watching it on the big
I'm sure I'll be inspired.
Today.
This is a very exciting evening. It's a film we've been working on for quite some time. It's independent animation, which kind of doesn't exist, and so we really had to forge a new path for the film, but it really had a unique vision, and we just knew that we had to do whatever it took to get it done, and here we are. It's super exciting, and opening on 700 screens tomorrow, and we're just going to be
Do you think this is the golden age of animation, like with Benicio del Toro releasing his Pinocchio? Like, I feel like in the past few years, animation is really starting to get on the forefront again. Like, what do you feel about that?
I think the animation is coming to a really interesting time where people are feeling that it's really an art form unto itself. You watch Tim Burton incorporate it into live action, and live action directors turn to animation because they find it such a dynamic and fun and creative art form. So I think it's really just broadening that it's not just for niche, animation lovers. It's for everyone.
Okay, thank you so much.
And the last person we want to thank, you saw so many of the cast and so many of the crew that put this together. They were put together by Folioscope Studios, Nicholas Flory and Ilana Rose, and they too were just the third pillar of this tripod to pull this off. And unfortunately, they couldn't be here, but the film is going to be out in France soon.
So yeah, big thanks to Folioscope Studios. Appreciate it. And my co-director, Pierre-Luc Granjon, who basically taught me stop motion animation and what is hard and what is even harder to do. And I would make his eyes grow really wide when I said, hey, I got a new idea, let's do this. But as I learned stop motion and I learned from him, I learned what was hard, and I would look at these boards that Kat made, and I would, the film's shots coming up, and I would go, okay, this is going to be difficult. And I'd rethink it, go to Pierre-Luc, and I'd say, well, hey, I got a new idea, and his eyes would get really big. And I'd say, no, it's going to be like this. It really economically done and like more elegant. And he would just go, yes, big smile, and yeah. And at that point, I think we all knew we could get this film done. It was really a team effort. I worked with the best team I've ever worked with. And now you're going to see the fruits of their labors. So everyone enjoy The Inventor. Thank you guys.